Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our final best of 3 of the evening. It's going to be EG versus Dignitas. I say evening, it's like the middle of the day.
I like your
here.
dance, LDZ.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Well, it's been a long day. We're letting loose here at the house, and it'll be EG versus Dignitas, best of 3 for the Corsair Summer Tour 2013 Group C. Winner of this will be first place in the group. They'll move on to the playoffs as a 1 seed. This is a $10,000 tournament brought to you by Corsair. Of course, there is also a Dota TV ticket giveaway. If you're interested in that, head over to gc.corsair.com. You can find out more, enter the contest, win a free ticket, make Corsair and Ghosty Gamers very happy. I'm LD, he's Merlini, and we're going to hop inside the draft right now. Dignitas versus EG, Game 1. Here we go.
Team Dignitas going with a pretty standard draft. Visage, Lifestealer, we saw Lifestealer play played by Aoi earlier in this tournament. Visage played excellently by Way Too Sexy. And who do you give the edge to in terms of just raw skill, recent performances? Who do you think has the edge?
I think both teams are capable of beating each other. I just think EG is playing way too sloppy. At least that's how they were playing today. They got crushed by Liquid yesterday in the American Dota League Finals 3-0. It was a complete beatdown.
Who do they play versus?
The form that EG is in right now is not impressive to me. Dignitas look pretty solid. So I think if the teams play the way they've been playing, I give Dignitas a huge edge
Dignitas just
here.
looks like they're taking the game much more seriously. Even if they're ahead, they just don't mess around like we see EG just like die to T4 sometimes. Just like, whatever. They can give up kills here and there, but I mean, even when they're ahead on that much farm, you don't want to give away advantage, especially when, I mean, if you're just playing pub, sure, but when you're in a match, in a Corsair Cup, I wouldn't throw it away.
You know, the thing with EG is they're definitely one of those teams that plays up or down to their competition. If they play a top team, they will generally not fuck around as much. They'll play more to win. They won't be as cocky or over-aggressive. I don't know if it's the best way to practice, but obviously Dignitas, there's that rivalry. It's a top North American team. They're going to bring their A-game here or whatever, the closest thing they have to their A-game right now, considering they're not necessarily in the best form. I like the bans from EG in this draft. I think the big thing is that they ban Universe's Darkseer. We showed the hero pick rates for Dignitas, and I think Darkseer was the second most picked hero, or maybe third. It's by far Universe's best hero in my eyes, and it just does so much work for their style.
And Aoi plays a pretty mean lone druid too. So again, pretty good bans by Evil Geniuses, and they need to take Dignitas out of their element. We see them run the same heroes over and over, and they are very, very good with the same heroes that they play a lot. Visage again, Lifestealer, we see a lot from them. And again, this Darkseer on Universe, I think this is really the X factor that just turns around a lot of games. He almost always wins his lane if it's a pure one-on-one situation, forces people to rotate away from the triple lane or away from the mid lane, and just opens up the map for Dignitas to play as greedily as we see them do a lot.
Yeah, for the time being, Dignitas to work on this next ban here. The OD banned out. A strong solo mid, EG not having any yet. Treon is available. We could see Living Armor. We could see Weaver. Weaver does well against Lifestealer. Pretty decent against Visage. Very hard to land a familiar stun versus that hero. It's an option for them. Both heroes still in the pool.
Could be AM game.
Could be an anti-mage game.
5 AM.
They have the Shadow Demon. They've got the Chen. Strong defensive lineup. Dignitas also lacking a bit of lockdown. Both teams really lacking stuns here. Sure, well, there you go. They'll start to shore it up now. They'll get a Nyx Assassin.
I like the Nyx Assassin pick here. It just really gains a lot of map control from the 8 to 20 minute mark of the game. When you don't aggressive triple lane versus Nyx Assassin, he'll get level 6, and then he'll usually just crush your supports, regardless of whether they're level 6 or not. And that's just so important into taking control of the mid game, taking out those T1 and T2 towers, and constantly forcing the other team to buy sentries is such a huge pain in the butt.
I think we talked about Universe's Darkseer, and to me, he's the player that makes their greedy style go. Because they run in such strong offlaners like Darkseer. Here's they can put a lot of pressure on the enemy safe lane. Here's that force supports to rotate. And if you're protecting your safe lane, you're not punishing the Visage, you're not punishing the Nyx. Not that Visage is weak in lane, but obviously he'd love to just get a quick level 6. Same for the Nyx, especially. And what would, if you're Dignitas right now, what do you give to Universe? Like, what is the hero left?
Weaver.
Of the pool? Weaver tree?
I would give.
And you could run a Nyx solo mid, maybe?
Maybe not a tree. I just don't think they have the lockdown for Weaver right now. They have Clockwork, but again, no real good stuns, no real good silences. He can just time lapse out of most of the things, and even if you focus all your spells on Weaver, Lifestealer and Nyx Assassin and Visage will do a lot of damage. There aren't that many other good offlaners. There's Bounty Hunter that we've seen a lot recently. Nyx Assassin plus Bounty Hunter kind of get owned by a gem, and Evil Geniuses does have the sort of lineup that can just 5-man snowball their way to 6 T1, T2 towers and Roshan. So I wouldn't opt for the Bounty Hunter pick right now. Again, I think that Weaver's pretty stable. Who else is an option? They could do an offlane tree. They could do Nature's Prophet. Nope, Nature's Prophet was just banned out. Any other options that you can think of?
That was not something I thought of, but now it looks like maybe an offlane Lifestealer. I don't know if they'll aggressive tri-lane this. They don't have the best initiation, but a strong, bursty tri-lane, hard to kill. No. There's not much lockdown on Dignitas. We did talk about this, and EG will look to punish that fact by going for an anti-mage here.
Yep, I think the anti-mage is very strong pick here, just because he can just blink away from Lifestealer, he can just spell shield the damage from Morphling and the Nyx Assassin and the Visage, and again, they don't have that much luck. They have Nyx Assassin plus your Visage Familiar Stuns, but that's pretty much it on the side of Team Dignitas.
Yeah, a lot of this game is just going to rely on that Nyx. Does he get off good stuns? Visage can't normally initiate.
Yeah, I think Fog will probably be playing that, though, and he has pretty good rotation as well as good pulling to get that early 6. I will be keeping an eye out on him to see how the game flows.
Is it going to be how are they going to lane this Morphling? That's my other question. Is this a mid Morphling?
It depends on what Evil Geniuses pick right now, but again, the pressure is on Team Dignitas because they have to pick first. If they pick a TA, there's really no other option for TA to go to a different lane. But let's see. I would prefer some sort of disable. Again, I think Puck. Oh, they actually banned out the Puck. So what? I think Puck is very good versus anti-mage. You can just straight up phase shift. He decides to blink on you and Manta. You have the silence, which can help burst him down. Although he is not that great in terms of he doesn't really do that much physical damage, still good at controlling the anti-mage in the fight.
If you're EG, you have an anti-mage. It's just a 1-carry lineup right now. Clockwork, probably the offlane, probably a defensive tri-lane for EG. Do you think about something like a Templar Assassin here, another kind of damage dealer, or do you just want to run a classic 4 protect 1 and get like a mag or something?
I think Magnus would be better. Templar Assassin, I think she really needs the support of her team because the other team usually doesn't just let him find 1 or 2 easy solo kills, her rather, Templar Assassin, and in response they'll use just 5-man, put a lot of pressure on a TA, and if you have an anti-mage just farming most of the time, TA really loses a lot of effectiveness. She really needs all 5 heroes to help her snowball well and get those items again. She doesn't scale that well with items compared to a Morphling. Morphling, probably the most potent late game aside from the anti-mage. They're both pretty even. I guess Morphling does no more AoE damage, but they're both good at split pushing.
Yeah, they're both pretty even late game. The big thing is anti-mage can just flash farm way better if he goes for the Battle Fury build. So it's hard for Morphling to keep up. That's where Dignitas having multiple carries, including that Lifestealer, could come into play. Bounty Hunter the last choice for EG. This now looks like potentially a mid Clockwork for JO. So a Clockwork versus anything from a Morphling or
probably
Nyx
a
Assassin.
Morphling I think would be the best choice here. Oh, looks
AUI
like
normally gets the safe lane though, so maybe we're gonna see
mid Nyx.
A mid Nyx.
So
Snake
it's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't think Nyx fares particularly well with Clockwork. He usually just straight up shuts down intelligence heroes. I would actually prefer them to switch it up a little bit.
I would like the Morphling there, because how are EG actually going to kill a mid Morphling?
Right,
and you can always wave out of cogs. They have no stun unless the Chen gets a creep, and even then, that's not enough burst. I think you can run Morph mid. You can run a Lifestealer. Well, I guess the one thing is you're farming a Nyx safely, which seems kind of odd. So.
Yep. It is important to get those levels up on him, and if you get earlies sufficiently on him, or levels sufficiently early on him, you can actually shut down an anti-mage, and shutting anti-mage is going to be very important for Dignitas just because he is their main threat late game. EG will be putting a lot of eggs in one basket on Fear on the anti-mage.
Well, for the time being, guys, we'll have a quick pause here. EG needs a moment. It gives us a chance to introduce the teams officially. Dignitas on the Dire side. It's game 1 of a best of 3. It's the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. I'm LD. He's Merlini. Delighted to have you guys here as a part of the broadcast. It's our final series for the day. The winner of this will be first place in Group C. They will join 4 other teams that already qualified from Groups A and B and advance to the next stage, the 8-team double elimination playoff round. And on that note, we'll introduce Dignitas. Fogged, playing the Crystal Maiden, Way Too Sexy on the Visage, Snake King, handling the Nyx Assassin, AUI 2000 or Owie. On the Morphling, we'll have Universe on the Lifestealer. And then on the Radiant side, it's Team Evil Geniuses. We'll have Jo playing the Clockwork, Bambo on the Shadow Demon, Fear on the hard carry role. It's now Bambo playing support nowadays. If you haven't watched EG over the past month or so, they did make a bit of a role change there. B-Diz, your Jungle Chen, and, well, that leaves Demon to play...
Bounty Hunter.
The Bounty Hunter. And I believe it's Demon's birthday, or it was yesterday, something like that, so happy birthday to Dota Demon.
Yep. Universe expresses the same. Are either of these teams boot camping? I think Dignitas is boot camping.
EG was at they call it the layer, right?
I have no idea.
The EG layer.
That sounds creepy.
Sounds super creepy.
Just gonna throw that out there.
It's like no comment. We'll table that one. Yeah, we'll leave it at creepy.
And what about Dignitas? I think they're in Vancouver, maybe.
Yeah, they're boot camping in Vancouver. I want to say they're staying. Are they staying at AUI's house or someone else who lives nearby?
But I think it's good practice for teams to gather up before a huge lane event such as TI3. Most of these teams are just boot camping their way, trying to grind out games, trying to come up with new strategies to surprise teams and take home that ever so coveted first place. But
if you're just
North American powerhouses, I'm curious to see how they will fare.
If you're just joining us, guys, this is game 1 of a best of 3. This is the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. If you're not already entered, you should head to gc.corsair.com. There is a giveaway for some Dota TV tickets. They're giving away 3 every single day. You can get all these players' perspectives first person. And these are the group stages, but the playoffs should be very interesting. 8 of the top teams from the Western scene. No Navi, no Alliance, but all the other top teams are pretty much in this tournament. And off the bat, Snake King's heading to the offlane is the Nyx. Boots first, offlane Nyx. Very, very interesting.
Interesting indeed. He will not be able to shut down Fear's farm at all.
I don't think he's supposed to shut his farm down, but
I don't even
can
know
he get
if he's gonna be
levels?
able to get
Is the
experience.
question.
I don't think so.
The anti-mage can kind of just zone the Nyx Assassin out. Might not kill him, but
He has those boots first. But I mean,
those brown booties.
Anti-mage can farm out boots just so fast. But we may see a dual lane in mid, which will be very interesting, just because CM and Morphling, both range heroes, can put a lot of pressure out on whoever the mid hero is. Looks like Jo on the Clockwork.
Dignitas showing their versatility here. We know they're a very versatile team in terms of the drafting, but they're also going to be versatile in terms of the laning in this game. Running dual lanes, putting the Morphling and Crystal Maiden mid, and throwing Snake King into the off lane. I don't think this Nyx offlane is going to be particularly effective, but the good news is they can probably just crush this Clockwork mid. He'll have a very hard time. Maybe he won't die, but it'll be tough for him to get any kind of farm if they play it correctly. And they'll get free farm on the Morphling there. They'll get a pretty early level 6 on that Visage safe lane. That's not something that Demon can really prevent all by his lonesome. So I think for Dignitas, they could be looking at winning 2 lanes. The downside, of course, you might have a useless Nyx, and you're giving away free farm to a safe lane anti-mage played by Fear.
Yeah, I think Nyx Assassin is actually one of the more important heroes on Dignitas. You're not going to be able to get to very late game unless your Nyx Assassin does a lot of work, and this is not setting Snaking up for success. I don't really view Snaking as much of a comeback player. I view him more as a snowball player, and as such, I don't think he is best suited in the offlane role. We see Shadow Demon come around from behind, drop his Observer Ward. They will spot him out. Is he going to zone him out? I see the ping.
Not just yet, but probably soon. Meanwhile, Way Too Sexy and Demon duking out the neutrals. Demon did a bit of a pull here. He'll drive the creep equilibrium back towards his tower and look to get some experience in the jungle. Shots being traded, but Way Too just crushing him in this matchup.
Way Too has no experience though. All the last hits have gone to Demon. He's already level 2, even with 2 of the creeps not yet dead.
Yeah, he's not getting a whole lot here, and Demon's going to strike again. Another creep going his way. Way Too has been winning the harassment war a bit, but Demon's still sitting on 2 sets of 2 tangos and should be okay for the time being. Actually, Way Too will take a point in Grave Chill, not Soul Assumption, just to try and get back to his tower. He'll go for a pull. Demon can disrupt that as well. Actually proving to be a massive nuisance here.
Yep, and he has Sentry Wards, but has not.
Meanwhile, well, Snake King's probably giving up our first blood. Tries to contest the pull against the defensive tri-lane. Bambo's going to tango through, has a disruption, doesn't even need it. First blood to Bambo. They wanted to give it to Fear, they couldn't. But you compare what he's done to what Demon's done. Demon hits 2, doesn't die, forces out a Sentry Ward. And you got to say, Demon's getting the huge upper hand as the off-lane player for his team.
I would have really liked to see a Quelling Blade on the Nyx Assassin. The booster didn't really do that much. Anti-Mage is a very fast hero, and against 3 heroes, usually you're not going to be able to just straight up run away, especially with the disruption. I would prefer to see like a Quelling Blade in here, Path to Freedom, just leech, maybe level 3, level 4, maybe even level 6. Just sit there, get experience. That's all you need on the Nyx Assassin. You don't really need the farm. You can find the boost very easily just from not dying, and again, experience, priority number 1. You need that Vendetta up ASAP.
You know, the other option is just abandon your off lane and go jungle. Or not go jungle, but go pull. And try and shut down Demon's Bounty Hunter. They're not really shutting the Bounty Hunter down. I thought they'd do a bit better here, but Demon just, with great last hitting at that first neutral camp, using Dignitas to his advantage, forcing out 2 Sentry Wards and not dying. If they run a Nyx Visage tri-lane, then I think they can keep Demon out of the lane better. They can get more pulls off. Instead, Snake King does hit level 2, but giving up first blood, and Beat is lurking on the low ground, hiding behind a tree. I believe he has been spotted here by Snake King. Indeed he has, so bit of wasted time for him.
Oh, are they going to go on him, though? He's trying to leech some experience at the tower, but Bambo playing very aggressively.
Yeah, they'll post up on Snake King, but the early boot saving his life here. He is getting a decent amount of experience off this lane, and Beat is really putting the pressure on him early. And the other lane we haven't looked at too much is the mid lane. AUI 17 and 10, absolutely destroying JO in terms of last hits and free farming. Keeping up with Fear, they are farming a Lifestealer and a Morphling, and they're both getting a lot. So sure, their Nyx might be useless in the mid game, at least with this kind of start. The Visage has been shut down a lot, but they do have 2 carries getting a lot of farm. All is not lost for Dignitas.
They are ready to kill Demon 2. They have sentries on the Visage. Actually, he deployed both of them. And they have a Dust on Universe ready to go on them. They have the Orb of Venom too, so they don't need to wait for the phase boost to go on him.
Yeah, he's pretty tanky though. I feel like it's only a level 1 Visage. Well, now he hits level 2, but I don't know if they can kill him from full HP. They'll need to chase him for quite a while to do it.
He is sitting at 380 right now. That poor man shield is just so great at exchanging blows versus the Visage. And
also dead armor.
Dead armor.
7 armor at level 2? Come on now. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Yep.
What a hero, that Bounty Hunter. Seriously is one of the most annoying offlane heroes to zone out of the lane. Not only do you have to buy sentries, but he's an absolute tanky monster. And Demon is going to find yet another Centaur. He is just crushing way too sexy's experience gain in this lane. Only level 3, 4 minutes in. Actually got more than I expected he would off of that, but now Fogged wants to cinch the noose. He's lurking, he's waiting for Demon, but Demon should be able to get away.
And checking out the last hit chart right now, we see 3 heroes almost tied at 25. The Morphling and the Anti-Mage and the Lifestealer. So it looks like Dignitas is doing a little bit better in the last hit department, but they did give up first blood. Checking out the goal graph just slightly, ever so slightly in favor of EG.
They're really forcing this push bottom lane. EG feels, I wouldn't say quite desperate, but very determined to take the early tier 1. It'll accelerate the Anti-Mage's Battle Fury, but it's going to give away a lot of experience to Snake King. He's already level 3. He'll probably be close to 4 or 5 after this tower goes. It's destroyed by the Radiant. Bambo marching forward. He could disrupt, but that would be too far to dive. Is it really worth going for the tier 1 this early? Because I don't think they can turn 2.
I don't think they can turn 2 either, and it really depends on whether you want to give Nyx success and experience at the trade-off of providing more farm for the Chen and for the Anti-Mage. And I personally don't think it's worth it. I think they could just stack a little bit, pull, control it a little bit more until he gets his Battle Fury, and then they can really utilize the jungle. In top lane, we see them trying to go very aggressively on Demon.
Yeah, they have the Dust on Universe. If Demon shows this pretty little mug, he might be in trouble. He'll eat a Janata. He's trying to bait out a Dust usage, but no commitment just yet from Dignitas. Wave 2, level 3. They have rotated Fog up here as well. And now AUI can pretty much just solo the mid lane. JO actually in danger of dying if he sticks around. It will be an early Linkage Sphere. Great against track, decent against disruption as well. Nothing that can instantly remove it that's spammable. Well, there's Test of Faith, I suppose, but should be in pretty good shape. Early linkage looks to be the choice, and I think it's a decent pickup this game.
Yeah, I don't particularly like it though versus track. Track is just such a nuisance versus, I mean, it's decently long range, it's low mana, it's fairly spammable.
Oh, way 2 might go down here. Demon tries to bring him down, but Grave Chill's there. The Dust isn't available. They don't have their lifesteal in range. These supports need to back off.
They need sentries.
They need sentries, or they need Universe's help. And Universe, he wants to be farming.
Is
as well he
Fog
should.
going to go down too? That is a question. He does have Tangos. I'm surprised Demon hasn't used him yet. He is a little bit lacking on mana. He needs 140, just 10 more mana to use his combo.
It's actually amazing to me, but Snake King is level 5, and it's because they pushed the tier 1 early, and they just didn't control the creep equilibrium at all. They prioritized getting the tower, he gave up first blood. Demon was doing so much more than him in the off lane, but this is the downside. You take an early tier 1 and you don't do anything off of it. You've given away so much experience to a pretty weak off laner in the Nyx. Well, we'll see if it hurts them later, but EG, quite a few squishy heroes. They'll need to be prepared with sentries as we enter the mid game.
First rotation of the game comes out from Dignitas. We see Snaking huddle around the mid, only level 5 and way too sexy posted up there as well. There is a smoke coming on the courier. We see 2 of them smoked up. Looks like they're trying to go for a second blood on JO.
Yep, for the time being, they're smoked up. They're rotating around the middle lane, way too sexy, heading towards the top rune. They might actually wrap all the way around. There's an observer ward here, but the smoke will keep Dignitas off the map for the time being. Still waiting, perched on the high ground. Snaking not yet level 6.
Oh, counter smoke from EG.
Oh,
Looks like, are they going to run each other?
If he walks in first. No, he's on the high ground now. The smoke is revealed. The jig is up. Dignitas
That
have
is
not...
so untimely.
Yeah, that was... All right, let's go now. And now a hook comes. Jayo's going to connect. Catches out Snaking. Impale goes, but only hits on one. Now Bambo has disrupted way 2. He's trapped next to the illusions almost completely. He will get out in the end. AUI helplessly farming mid lane. Unable to engage there. And Universe will go back to farming top. Well...
I did not like that impale there from Nick Stetson. He was trapped in the cogs pretty much in this block over here. He did it in this trajectory. If he had just casted it on a Shadow Demon, I'm pretty sure he would have hit 3 of them. The Clockwork in melee range, almost guaranteed to hit regardless. I think he clicked on the Clockwork, and it would have been the fight would have been a little bit better for them had that not happened.
Yeah, and that also delays his level 6. It gives EG some precious experience. The Chen that was a bit behind early now beat his. Well, he's got a headdress. He's got a buckler recipe. He's getting closer and closer to a mech. And in this mid game, in order to kill Fear, they need a Nyx assassin with level 6, ideally with more levels. He's their one hero that can initiate reliably on Anti-Mage. And Snaking's still level 5, dying mid, slows him down a bit. It's okay for him not to have a whole lot of gold, but they've got to get his level 6, and he's got to be a little bit more careful. Bambo's going to come around, Disruption, Soul Catcher to follow up, and they will teleport someone in. And it looks like Carap is able to bail Snaking out of a bad, sticky situation. He'll live. Once he gets level 6... Can they actually go and kill this anti-mage?
All they need is a life stealer inside of him, and I think he's pretty much just dead. Or they could use a replicate image to try and get Morphling in, but he only has 720 HP. He has to have extremely fast reflexes to try and tread switch before the Impale hits, and I think that's all they really need to do. Shut Fear down, don't give track kills, and just find farm on Morphling, and that can be the recipe for success. It's as simple as that.
They really are hating on Snakane. He'll get tracked up, Demon diving him very far. He wants to force the TP here. There won't be a commitment. Now Fear says, get out of there. He'll blink back. He's up to 1,000 gold. He'll work towards a Battle Fury, still keeping the pace with AUI as well as Universe. Everybody pretty much knotted up when it comes to farm. 9.5 minutes in an even game overall. Only a 500 gold lead heading the way of EG. A 1,200 experience lead. Remember, EG, it's been a 1-for-1 tower trade so far. They got the tier 1 bottom, but Dignitas retaliated with the tier 1 top. So essentially, a dead even game. It'll just come down to execution and movement as we enter the mid game.
Bounty Hunter just hits level 6, and they are looking for way 2.
Oh, this Visage wants to get some farm. Could be pulling, but he's really far out there, and Demon is about to spot him.
Easiest
did he? He just shadow walked in the lane. The creep spotted him, and now he might go down. Bambo's going to go down as well. Snakane hits level 6. They get a kill, and now way 2 on the run. But Demon, no, he gave it up because he shadow walked right here in front of the creeps.
Yeah, he was thinking, wow, this Visage is up this far by himself. This surely can't be happening. Scouts for supports and misses window of opportunity. But Anti-Mage content to farm right outside of the T2. Looks like he's working toward a battlefield. Should hit it around 15 minutes. Maybe a little bit early, 14.
Yeah, they've only gotten the 1 tower for Fear. I mean, he's got the Claymore now. He still needs the Broadsword as well as the Void Stone to make his Perseverance. Demon still perched top. Really just camping for kills. And I guess the issue for Demon is he doesn't really have a great lineup to come gank with him. Right, Anti-Mage wants to farm. Clockwork maybe could, but is kind of a clunky hero to move around the map. And Shadow Demon Chen, well, for the most part, they don't want to walk that far into the enemy jungle. So it's just Demon trying to be a nuisance top, but they're not finding the track kills. Meanwhile, mid lane, they've gone in. There's a disruption. It'll buy some time, perhaps, for Jo. Not nearly enough, though. He'll go down. Nice pick off here for Dignitas, and that first Vendetta gank for Snakane. Call it a success.
And again, that Vendetta Lifestealer Bomb is just so potent. You can't have sentries everywhere, and Anti-Mage's strength lies in being able to split push and flash farm. If you can shut down his ability and force him to play passively and think twice about where he blinks into when there are only 2 heroes missing on the map, that totally changes the pace of the game and will limit Anti-Mage's potency in the late game.
For EG, this is going to have to be a very fat anti-mage, because right now they're not getting many track kills. Their only other hero that can really dish out physical damage as the game goes later and later is the Bounty Hunter and Demon. Boots, Bottle, Poor Man's Shield. Not particularly farmed. That puts a lot more pressure on Fear, and he's got to go against a dual core lineup in a Morphling as well as a Lifestealer. Both of them farming very well. Neck and neck with Fear. And now a hook comes through. They'll find way too sexy. Maybe this will be a track kill. Fear in the cogs. Gets the kill. Now he's just got to get out. Jo running south. Fear. He'll run to the east for the time being. Universe on the hunt. They want Demon. Dust not available. Looks like he already used it. And in comes Snake King. Vendetta online, but just cannot find a kill. They get a kill. They get out. Surgical play from EG.
Yeah, good move by them, getting those track kills, and that's exactly what you need to do, and buy time for Fear to farm. He is at 2,500 gold right now, still very close to his Battle Fury, relatively passive from both teams, but I think that Dignitas actually has the slight edge come late game just because they have the Lifestealer and the Morphling, and they have more mobility around the map. They can also split push with the Morphling using his Replicate, and they have always the threat of the Nyx plus whoever bomb, or the Lifestealer plus Nyx bombs.
Yeah, you're talking about late game, and always track gold has to be kept in under consideration. Even if you have the better late game composition, if you are far behind on items, you can struggle to keep up. And we'll have to see if Demon can continue to find track kills, because right now, well, they got the one track kill top. Actually, he didn't get an assist for it, but I believe it was a track kill. Still, he must have been out of range for the assist in the end, but or rather, didn't do any damage, just tracked and then ran away, I guess. But EG, I would like to see a little bit more movement from them, try and find a few more track kills. They're playing super defensively, not putting any pressure on Universe, not putting any pressure on AUI. Both of them farming freely, and like you said, it's 2 carries, probably give them a slight edge late game. Track kills can be the X factor, but you got to gank to make those happen.
I think that EG could make better use of their Chen pick. Take on towers right now. He's level 7. He has his mech. This is a time to make stuff happen. This is about Chen's strongest time in the game. But he's just content to farm the jungle a little bit. If they take out this T1, I think that opens up Roche for them a lot.
The fortunate luck of Snake King will walk right into Jo. Not the ideal target. Now the Vendetta revealed. He'll come in. He'll impale. No cogs yet. The Infest pop back out. They needed that Vendetta damage to make this kill easy. They'll still get it. Now Demon's teleported in, tracked up a Snake King, but AUI will be the vanguard as they retreat out. So they get a kill, and they get it on the Clockwork. And without Clockwork, EG, their lineup sucks at defending towers. Like, they are really bad at defending.
Unless they have 3 Wild Ring Rippers. But speaking of Chen, he's actually been slightly late to those Chen heals. He tried to heal on Clockwork when he got disrupted mid, didn't time it, he got it after his death, and similarly here. I think that if it had gone on a little bit easier, they could have maybe TP'd and defend, but again, their lineup isn't built around defending. They have the anti-mage. They want to just put a lot of pressure on the map, but they're not doing anything with this Chen pick. I'm not feeling his presence. Yeah,
the Chen hasn't been the highest impact here, and I just feel it's kind of a hard lineup to make stuff happen. Like, who goes roaming around the map with Bounty Hunter? Is it the Clockwork? Jo's got a smoke, hasn't really used it yet. It's hard for them to get into fights, and even if you hook someone like a Lifestealer, a Morphling, they just go away. So they'll wave out, they'll rage out. You're not going to kill them. You've got to find these supports, and for the most part, Dignitas, their supports haven't been that far out. There was the one time where the Visage could have died top, but that was pretty much it.
The battle of the greed is what it looks like right now. Both teams just playing extremely greedy, not wanting to make a move, just perfectly content to farm it out. But again, Dignitas has a slightly stronger late game. They are slightly ahead in gold as well. 1,000 gold in favor of them. Checking the tower count, looks like they only have 1 tower up, so that would be the majority. Looks like Universe is in big trouble here. It's 3-man smoking.
There is a demonic purge. He could look to infest. The hook comes through right as the disruption comes out. Big time miscommunication. Universe outside of the trees, or rather the cogs, will try to TP out. Now infests instead. Will the Chen creep be sent back home? He was worried about it. Betas wasn't sure which one it was. Universe purged up, stunned up as well. Decent micro here. It'll be a 4-hero track kill.
Wow.
Well, they made EG, they made themselves work for that one. But
if they didn't have net right there, he would have gotten away clean. The hook shot missed, the cog pushed him out. That was not the greatest execution.
And then the disruption was there right as the hook comes through. It was awkward.
Awkward indeed. But Chen picking up that kill, that troll net is so important against BKB or Rage TP.
Yeah, they'll find a kill there. The mech spin up, like you said. Still no signs of EG wanting to push into a tower. Worried about the Vendetta ganks. Lincoln's is coming now for AUI. He'll be harder to kill. Your Lifestealer going for an armlet, just completed it. Universe armlet, AUI Lincoln's. 16-minute Lincoln's is a very good time to pick this up, and he hasn't rushed it. He's gone Shreds. He's gone for an early Wraith Band and a Magic Stick, and that's going to be very difficult for EG to actually kill him in these fights.
He's behind Fear in last hits, though. He has 10 less last hits.
And in come the familiars. They'll stun a bit on the mid lane. They'll try and drive this push back. In comes Snakane, side-swiping Bambo. Gets tracked for his trouble, will be driven back. And it looks like Dignitas, now the Lincoln's online. How confident do they feel? Do they want to force some fights?
I mean, judging by the last 20 minutes, probably not. Again, I still think they could make some solo picks around the map. Fear only has 834 HP right now, and I think that Dignitas is kind of in the same position that they were last game. They're like, okay, we're going to have our heroes spread around the map. If you want to gank them, you're going to have to devote 3, 4, or 5 heroes, and we're going to try and get more out of it. And if you don't take it, we'll definitely get more out of it because we're farming the whole entire map instead of just one lane. So I think they're just like content. I mean, obviously it's not a good position for your lifestealer to be out here by yourself, but I think the trade-off for them is actually pretty good.
He went for a stroll. The smoke dispelled. Bambo not scouting with the poison yet. The courier comes through. The hook unfogged, and once again, Bambo disrupting right after the hook. Buying time for that Crystal Maiden. Beat is in a bit of trouble. The troll trap comes through. Universe held in place, but here comes Snake. He'll blow up Beat is. The mech deployed. He lives forever and a day. Universe infesting in, popping back out. Demon on the run. Where is AUI in this fight? Actually haven't found him yet. He's in the middle of it now. He's in the thick of things.
He sees the creeps.
He wants the creeps. He ignores Demon. He'll get 2. He'll get 3. Almost as big as a hero kill if he gets this last Centaur. It will go down. While that's happening, Demon will fall. And EG, they lose 2. These disruption hook combos are just really painful to watch.
I mean, technically it bought time for them to track, but they really just needed to eliminate that hero as soon as possible and retreat to a more favorable position. When you're all clumped over here, there's pretty much only one way to retreat when they TP to the T1 and the T2 and just circle you. You don't want to be ever caught in that sort of situation, and they were forced to turn tail and run. Some nice play by Dignitas there, trying to minimize the casualties. And Aoi, 0-0-2, he is pretty stacked right now.
He's slightly behind Fear. As mentioned, the anti-mage with the Battle Fury will pull ahead. We saw this a lot at the International too. The big difference, though, is Morphling can fight and be a little bit more active around the map. Fear, Yasha coming now, I believe, on the courier, or coming soon. It'll be delivered now. He'll have to farm for a while because it's just a lineup that doesn't offer you much in the mid-game as far as secondary punch. Fear is all of their damage virtually. He's even going to be their initiation unless Jo can hit big hooks. It's so much rest from Fear. And if they get a Vendetta and Impale, Fear is dead. He'll try to blink out. He's too late. Now a Frostbite holds him in position. Crystal Maiden dropping the bomb. But Fear will live. Just not quite lucky enough. Rocket comes forth. Fear able to run away. Barely surviving.
Wow, so that was close to killing him there. Staking actually has a blink dagger, so he's recovered quite nicely from his rather poor start.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just how EG played that Tier 1 push bottom. They take the Tier 1 early, and they do it so early that they can't really punish the... They can't go for 2. They gave that Nyx level 5 before Demon had level 4, and that was with Demon stealing nearly every neutral creep that the Visage was farming. I mean, that's the downside to pushing a Tier 1 that early. If you can't turn 2, you end up just giving away a ton of experience that otherwise wouldn't be.
So in terms of map control right now, it seems like Dignitas has a much bigger advantage. I haven't seen Fear farm too much past the river, but Dignitas constantly up at this T2 tower, and they're trying to invade the jungle a little bit to slow down anti-mage's farm. So it looks like Dignitas has slightly more map control. Seems like they have like about this much, and will be able to outfarm them in the meantime. There's no Midases on either team. No Greevil's Greed to worry about. And looks like Dire trying to abuse their Roshan position right now. There is a medallion pick on the Visage. It is scouted out by the Rocket, though.
Oh, can EG fight in the pit, though? That's the big question. If they come into this pit, there's a lot of AoE. There's a lot of burst damage. Well, not AoE, but just burst damage for Dignitas. And who goes in first? It's got to be Jo. He'll need the right hook angle here. Can he fight it? Roshan dropping low. He's got vision with Rocket Flare. No hook attempted. Deciding not to go for it. If that's a Demon Clock, Demon definitely hooks in. Or a Bambo, for that matter.
And EG, again, just waiting for Fear to farm. This is almost exactly what we saw them do last game when he played Alchemist. Okay, Fear, when you're done farming, we'll be ready to fight. But Fear is by no means done. Looks like he at least wants to complete his Manston style. He's about 1,100 gold away. That is typically the time for anti-mage to stop farming, but you can go farm a Butterfly if you wanted to. But again, the stronger his images get, usually the stronger Morphling images get too.
Yeah, those replicates pack a punch. AUI, for the time being. We'll see him continue to farm the top lane. Dignitas, they'll defend their Tier 1 mid. They've done a really great job of defending towers. Early sentries in the lane. Actually an infest from the lifesteal into Snakane in the middle of the enemy creep wave. Well, that one will go down without a fight. And wow, it looks like Beat has actually sniped the tower with the Chen creep. Nicely done by him. Now a hook bottom lane. They found Fog. That's the hero you want. That Crystal Maiden has no way out. Soul Catcher for good measure from Bambo. What are these disruptions from Bambo? Bambo Dota. What the hell, man? They'll end up getting the kill on the Crystal Maiden, but they do lose their Shadow Demon in doing so. Fear drops a big Mana Void. AUI 2000 actually still has the Aegis. Fear will be forced back. And we'll see a track now, as well as a Grave Chill. Demon just can't move. The Dust Slow, too. He's not able to get away. Might go down here. Is Third Infest? Not available. Still running. Still trying to live. Not enough in the end. He'll fall.
What are these disrupts?
What is wrong with Bambo this game?
I have no clue.
Is there like a house bet about how many ganks he can
They
screw up
were just
team?
sitting around, let Nex initiate on them while the CM was disrupted. Sure, they got the kill on her and got the track kill, but I think they could have just killed her and just immediately backed off, wait for their cooldowns to come up, but they're giving away unnecessary kills. That disruption cooldown is just so clutch sometimes.
Yeah, could have been saved for a defensive usage there. Could have used it on some other hero. They're just buying time for Dignitas to show up and turn the fights around. Well, we've bullied Bambo enough.
Here is the Manta style on the anti-mage. Perhaps the moment that everyone on EG's team has been waiting for. Is he going to start fighting? That is the question.
And while that's happening, though, Bambo's gotten caught again. Snake King's gone in. Can he bring him down? Soul Catcher thrown out on Fog. Now tries to run away. A well-placed disruption will buy him time, and he gets purged. This is some good Shadow Demon play. Using his spells wisely. Snake King on the run. Might go down here. Pops the Carapace. Heads north. Rocket available in 1 second's time, but I don't think it'll be enough while this is happening mid lane. They've gone in. Fear. Another kill for him. The familiar stuns could spell trouble. Double stun. Infest. Pop back out. That's some micro skills.
That familiar stun.
And Fear.
Totally worth it.
I thought he had. I didn't see if Blink was off cooldown, but I thought he could have blinked out there.
He was trying to. He was in the cast animation, and the very timely familiar stun coming out from Way Too Sexy.
It was very close. And then great usage of the Infest there from Universe, not hesitating, just going right in.
Not in 9-1 and or not in 9-1 Visage like last time, but still very good at Visage. We don't see too many good Western Visage players.
Yeah, well, there are some. I mean, there's Fluff and stuff. He was the player that sort of brought the Visage back to the competitive scene. It was an old Chinese standby a long time ago, in I think even 2011, 2012, but
Shotgun is complete.
or even not 2012, like 2010, 2011. But yeah, Fluff and stuff. He brought it back, man. He brought Sexy back. Visage
Bring
is not-
Sexy back. Milk had this one strategy. It was awesome. It was Juggernaut, Luna, and Earthshaker. Those were your three core heroes. You Echo Slam, you Eclipse, you Omni Slash, GG Team Fight 1.
Omni GG Slash. They'll go in on Demon now. Snake King hunting him. Does he have Dust? He's got a Sentry. Demon's in trouble. There's your Rage, and Demon will fall yet again. Another kill. Universe really picking up steam here.
I don't understand why Demon's out by himself. He can't find solo
He's
kills
bored.
on anyone. I mean, I guess he's bored, but that's not the point of Bounty Hunter. It's to find kills, not to get killed.
I honestly think sometimes EG just get bored. It's like they want to go do something. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Dignitas, the group up top. I just feel they're the slightly more patient and disciplined team. EG, lots of talent, but not really on the same page here. That anti-mage with the Battle Fury. AUI still keeping the pace with him. Fear will go in mid, but a quick replicate out. And now, Morphling will join the push top. Dignitas is a unit of 5, clustered up, pressuring the tier 2 top on EG's side. EG, your Radiant squad, going for a tower trade. Fear, pushing the mid tier 2. And it looks like EG don't really want to take any fights. They're going to lose the tier 2 top. They won't get one mid, but they'll do a lot of damage to it. And overall, you got to say, Dignitas just feeling like the stronger lineup at this stage of the game.
Indeed, they are. I mean, Aoi is super stacked at this point.
Oh.
Oh, he gets hooked on.
Gets hooked. He's got an E-Blade, though. I think could turn that around. The Aegis expiring in 1 minute's time, but never mind that. There were 5 EG heroes. Wisely, he'll back off.
Again, very safe play from Dignitas here. Some people would have tried to just shotgun him inside the thing, get a kill. It's like, okay, whatever with the Aegis. But, again, they have very good chase potential with the clockwork, with the track, and, ooh, Fear gets EB'd.
Yeah, Fear is not the world-beating anti-mage level of farm yet. He's got his Manta style, his Battle Fury, but he needs, I'd say, 2 more items to fight. Otherwise, he could get blown up here. There's an Impale, just missing Demon, barely able to escape. Well, that was close, and here comes Universe. This Lifestealer has no fear, man. 2,100 gold. Universe is just charging into EG, and EG want no part of him. That hero's pretty good.
Scary, scary Lifestealer. Going for the Basher, I think this is a very good build. If you get a lucky bash on the anti-mage, that can just totally swing around the team fight. You don't really get that much uptime on him, especially considering your lineup. If he frostbites, you just manta it out and blink. If he impales, you pretty much only have like a 2-second window to try and nuke him down. If you get a bash, that window can almost double if it's very timely.
Look at Universe, just farming the top lane. There's a tier 2
He's
missing.
been here all game.
Yeah, he's just parked on EG's doorstep. The thing is, like we've talked about, how do they actually gank him? If they hook him, he just rages and TP's out.
4-man, like last time with the troll.
Mid lane, way too sexy. He's been caught out. Great play by Fear, finding a pick off here. It is only the Visage. I guess my concern for EG is they just can't seem to kill this Morphling or the Lifestealer, who just continue to keep up for the most part with Fear. Sure, Fear's slightly ahead, but when you're a 1-carry lineup against 2 very strong late game heroes, you need to be a lot more than 500 or even 3,000 gold ahead.
Looks like that creep stack will help, and Beat is sending him back for that efficiency. Look at net worth right now.
Gotta get that value.
About 15,000 for AM, but Morphling and Lifestealer are very, very close behind.
For the time being, EG sitting back. Always track gold, can turn things around. They are getting close to some next items at long last. The BKB for Demons coming soon. For Jo, could be the BKB. Could be the Aghanim
There's a blink
Scepter.
on Chen. What is this nonsense?
All right. Can we just walk out on this?
What?
Blink into a send back.
Oh, there is. Oh, wow. Does he have a gem?
Is there actually a good reason to get this blink?
Oh, they had a Sentry Ward. I mean, I guess he doesn't want to get initiated on by Nyx. There is a Nyx bomb. Maybe if he didn't have a blink right there, I'm pretty sure he was dead. Oh, they owned that Satyr Tormentor so badly.
They ganked the ever-living crap out of it.
I just saw an item picked up. I don't actually...
But, yeah, this helps you live to the Nyx ganks, but you're a Chen at 28 minutes in against an Ethereal Blade Morphling who just killed off Bambo mid. You can't be wandering around by yourself anyway.
Yep.
Like, you should. What are you going to do if you're wandering around by yourself? I don't feel it accomplishes anything.
I would have much preferred...
It could be working towards
Pipe?
a pipe.
Yeah.
Working towards an Aghanim Scepter. You could get
Force
a Ghost
Staff.
Scepter, Force Staff. Great when you have a Clockwork. I mean, that Clockwork has his own, but frees him up to use his on other things.
Oh, Fear caught out
They
on
found
top.
Fear in the jungle. They want to bring
Where's
him
the lucky
down.
bash?
There's no bash yet. Fear will blink away. Barely able to live.
Tower. Need Abyssal. Once he gets Abyssal, I'm pretty sure they can burst him down with this Nyx Lifestealer bomb. And
this is without the Morphling there. If they have all 3 of those heroes just jump on the Anti-Mage, there's no way Fear fights his way out. He's got to be 6-slotted, and each of them have to have no more than, like, 3 items.
he has 4,100 gold right now. He's very close to, I guess, his heart. I think he wants more HP.
Demon forced to blow his 10-second BKB just to run away. AUI was threatening him with the shotgun there.
Yep. Again, Fear is Butterfly or Heart is a better choice. I mean, Heart is versus Shotgun and generally better versus Morphling, but you always have to consider that the other team does have a Lifestealer. No MKBs up yet on either team, but again, a Lucky Bash could turn around a team fight or just let them die. And if you can dodge it with a Butterfly, that would just be so clutch.
Yeah, you're right. I still just feel like Fear's fighting almost 1v5 this game.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel
He
that
needs
way?
both.
Like, I guess he could be disrupted at the right moment. Maybe a Clockwork Hook from Jo will come through and turn things around. Track move speed helps him, but I still ultimately feel like it's just Fear against the entire lineup of Dignitas.
Fear against the world.
Yeah, it's the story of EG. Usually it works. It works a surprisingly large amount of the time, which is the incredible thing about it. But
Waiting around for Roshan a little bit. Are they going to make a push with this, though? I don't necessarily think so. Again, all they need to do is try and control the Anti-Mage. I would really like to see a Replicate along with the Nyx ganks, and they just need that little bit more oomph to take them out.
can you infest a Replicate?
Yes, you can.
That would be pretty cute.
That would be
cute.
pretty
I would love
cool
to see that
indeed.
because you're not putting too much in harm's way.
He's infested, just barely dodges Bambo here. Oh, my
Walking right
goodness.
over, Sentry, triple Wildkin. It's a Wild Wayne Ripper party. And while it's happening, Roshan will be attempted. The
Wow,
Tornadoes
that
have
thing's getting
vision of
owned.
this. Dignitas
There's the rocket.
will be spotted out. The rocket comes as well.
They need to
Demon
fight this.
lobs the track in. Dignitas say, screw it. We're going for it. Hook's available. Jo comes in hasted. Roshan low. AUI saying, let's fight it out. They've caught Snakey. They'll blow him up. Now the shotgun on Fear. Not dead yet. Dignitas dropping pretty quick in this engagement. Roshan's low. Not dead yet. In comes Fear. Every chop's a kill. He'll find 3. The old man wants more. Come over here, AUI. Give me your gold. Give me your cash. He's still chasing. Mono Void isn't available. He doesn't have the mana for it, or he could easily secure this kill. Still on the hunt. AUI out of mana. EG diving him all the way back to the base. Snake King's bought back for this. Tries to rejoin the fight. He's in a bit of trouble. The Familiars will try and cover his retreat, and it looks like they'll be able to do so. Wow. That was just Fear slicing and dicing.
The BKB on Demon, or on Demon, yeah, on the Bounty Hunter, really caught them off guard there. And Lifestealer actually surprisingly died. He had 10 charges on his magic stick. I think he could have armlet toggled there. If he had stayed alive, things would have been a little bit different, especially since they needed.
No, they'll go in now. Snake King wants to steal this Roche, but he ends up just giving another kill to Fear. Now AUI is waved in. He's too late. Anti-Mage already has the Aegis. AUI surrounded by an army of Anti-Mages, tracked up, waiting for wave to cool down. Now it's slicing time. AUI, no wave out. He'll go down as well. One by one, they're pulling an EG and just charging in, giving away their lives. Dignitas kind of self-destructing here, and EG might pull a fast one on them. They've cogged in Fog. They'll find another kill. Universe back in the fight. He needs quite a few bashes, however. And Fear with a heart, a little bit too tanky. He'll be able to get out.
Wow. What set them up, I think, for that really poor fight was Snake King just being up here. There's no reason for Nyx Assassin to be inside a Roshan Pit. He has a blink, he does insignificant amounts of damage, and he is their main form of just stun and controlling the fight early in the team fight. If you get picked off with him, it's just really bad.
I also just felt like they didn't have vision in general. And EG knew they were there. There was rockets, there was 3 Wild Wing Tornadoes. And they still really forced it. I feel like Dignitas weren't under any duress, but, well, Fear is going to try to duke it out with Universe. There's your bash. They need more. Mana burn on Fear. He'll still live. The tower dropping pretty fast. Fear coming in. Fear going out. No idea if he really wants to fight this yet.
He has a heart and 4,000 gold, so that butterfly heart
all of a
is
sudden, he might
fast.
be 2 big items ahead. Because AUI, Liquid Sphere doesn't do as much for you as something like a Manta style at this point in the game. And the Ethereal Blade, how much does Shotgun really help you against an Anti-Mage? Very little. There's a BKB on Demon. It won't help you there. The Chen, maybe you can blow Betas up if he's in the front lines.
I think this Abyssal pickup is really needed by Universe. He's just 400
Those deaths
gold away.
have been killing him.
Yeah, I think they've just been a little bit too behind in killing him. They try to kill him way too late, I think, before Lifestealer got, or before they got enough items on Fear. I think they could have just taken advantage of it. Nyx, just go and kill. They tried to roam around with the Nyx Assassin when he was level 5, and now he's just a little bit too far behind. Once you get that one early heal, you can really just keep going on that, or at least force EG to protect him a little bit more, to force Hand of God, to buy a lot of Sentry Wards and just protect him. But Fear is pretty much just able to do anything he wants on his own right now.
You know, it's partially Dignitas just not really focusing on killing him enough, I guess, but he's played really well. 7-1-5 against a Nyx and a Lifestealer and a Morphling. 3 heroes that can be almost anywhere, that have great ways to lock down and burst down an Anti-Mage. He just hasn't gotten caught much this game. It's a hard game not to get caught, but, well, he's really... This is the definition of carrying your team, because let's be honest.
Look at the skull grab.
Bambo
Oh
just
my
some
goodness.
awful disruptions in the mid-game. Almost cost his team quite a few fights. Demon wandering around by himself, getting picked off. Fear, the guy who's not making mistakes, keeping them in this game. And now it's a hook from Jo that might help them seal the deal. They've caught Fog. A great Observer Ward to set that one up. And
Check the XP grab, or the gold grab rather. Oh my goodness. One
that
bad
one fight, 10k gold lead.
Yeah.
12k.
Track gold at its finest.
Yeah. Well, it's what we talked about. That's kind of one of the secret weapons late game.
Yeah, one bad team fight just completely changes the game around.
They do have an Abyssal Blade now. Will this matter?
Nice purge by Bambo, instantly taking out that illusion from Morphling. So won't be able to mana burn, won't be able to tank, and he won't be able to replicate.
Oh, they're going to try and shotgun Jo. From the backside comes Snake in. They found the clockwork. Is that the ideal hero to focus? Now he gets disrupted. They're blowing a lot of time on this. Still no commitment from Fear. Jo dropping low, tries to throw a hook, can't get out of dodge. He'll go down. Track on Universe, but Fear comes in. He gets impaled. He's being kited really nicely by Dignitas thus far, and now he'll try and man it up against Universe. Great armlet toggle. Fear, the familiar stuns are going to bring him down. He loses Aegis. Can they win round 2 of the fight? Demon to fall, collateral damage to a big Crystal Maiden ult. Fear leaping forward. Mana Void finds the Lifestealer, wants some more. Once fogged, he'll Manta out of the Frostbite, and he'll find another kill. Double kill for Fear. The Aegis being the big difference maker here. And without the Lifestealer, there's just no control for this Anti-Mage.
And they can just pretty much straight up take this Rax out right now. He can buy his Butterfly, have enough for buyback right now. Oh, there are no T2s now, so it looks like it will only be 1 set of Rax for them. Again, Abyssal coming out a little bit late. He actually had to use it on the Clockwork. of all heroes.
Yeah, that was they went on the clockwork. He got disrupted. He got the hand of
Double
God came out.
Force
Double force staff. The mech. You can't blow that much on the clockwork. Not when Anti-Mage has an Aegis. Then they tried to fight him. I guess they needed to fight. They were getting sieged. It is 5 a.m. because EG have Shadow Demon. So if they don't engage, EG can just chip away at their axe and eventually take it. But that was just not the right way to take the fight.
Not right at all. How should they do it, though? They really need to kill a Shadow Demon. I think that is one of the most important heroes. Also with the Chen, too. If you do a send back into Disrupt, that is very, very difficult to kill through that. So I think picking off these weak supports and maybe the Bounty Hunter, too. Clockwork, I don't view that important as a hero, especially after the hook shot and the cog. He really doesn't do anything after that, at least not for another 15 seconds when his thing recharges. 12 seconds, actually. But Anti-Mage, he just has too much HP to burst down right now. Shotgun, not very good versus the Anti-Mage. Lifestealer, he has Bash, but again, the Anti-Mage has a heart right now. No MKB versus the Butterfly. Can't really burst him down during one stun duration. So I think the proper idea is to just kill all the supports, let Fear fend for himself, just bash him, focus him down with stuns later.
Can you ignore him now, though?
Yeah.
Butterfly, Basher.
You can try and go, just frostbite him, force a Manta, and then just use the EB on him so that you can delay his damage for 5 seconds. He doesn't have a way to get out of EB or any
he's only got one Manta.
Right. He could get BKB, though, and just straight up crush them.
Well, he's already gone Basher, so he'll go for an Abyssal Blade now. The one big issue for Dignitas is they can't burst the AM, but the AM can burst anyone. If Fear jumps on you and Abyssals you, you're just going to die. AUI, he's Shotgun Bambo. And he'll get out of dodge in a hurry. But in comes Fear. He'll join the fight now. He's gotten bashed once, but look at how much damage he's putting out. Universe can't stand against it. That Lifestealer not long for this world. Fear still at half HP. Blinks to the right. He'll be healing back up. And now AUI trying to clean up shop. Jo cogged up. Hooks to safety. The Soul Assumption follows him. Won't be enough to secure the kill. Will get away. They disengage a Shadow Demon for a Lifestealer. Great trade for EG. I don't know if that was a track kill, but just getting a kill on the Lifestealer is very important at this point.
Lifestealer does not have enough items to compete with his Anti-Mage. He is super stacked. Checking out the net worth graph right now, he is about 12,500 gold, almost double Lifestealer's net worth, and you just can't compete like that.
Meanwhile, Demon busy diving the base. He'll pop a BKB. They get a track kill on the Crystal Maiden. This could be a track kill on Wave 2 as well. Tracked and then brought down. That's 3 dead. Completely self-destructing in the mid-game is Dignitas and EG just crushing right now. 23-15. They go for the huts as well. Fear getting all the gold.
Just going for the T4 right now. They just want to end it.
Richer than God. Is there buyback on the Lifestealer? No buyback on a single hero this game. Lifestealer coming back in 8 seconds. But no Visage, no Crystal Maiden. I don't know if it matters. He's already latched onto the tier 4s. Snake King will try and stall this out, but he's tracked. He's already popped Carapace. Fear doesn't care. We could see 5 Anti-Mages at any moment. You've got to get the Shadow Demon hero. Blink and a stun. Now they'll shotgun him from downtown. Comes AUI 2000. He does pick Bambo a bit out of position there. Should be a bit farther back, and well, they lose him, but does that matter? Hook comes in, connects on Snake King. Universe is running. Fear gets stunned. Can they Abyssal him and bash him down in time? He's low. He's not dead yet. That Butterfly making the difference. He'll get away. He'll blink back, or actually get sent back with barely any HP. Clockwork dies. His corpse hooking his way out, and now marching forward to Snake King. EG in a headlong retreat. They almost lost Fear with... Well, actually, he just got buyback from track gold, so never mind that. But they'll find Snake King. Demon picking off another kill. Might pay for this with his life. Is there detection? No detection. He'll be fine.
Nice try by the Clockwork there to try and interrupt that fight. I actually thought that EG had almost no chance of losing that fight, but with Nick's revive, a very timely Abyssal Blade by Universe.
The big thing is Bambo died at the beginning of the fight. He got shotguns. Yep. If they have the disruption there, Fear just gets disrupted and turns around with 5 Anti-Mages and just laughs at the Lifestealer.
Yeah, again. Bambo, he's having a lot of questionable plays this game.
I feel it's just Bambo is such a naturally aggressive player. When you're a Shadow Demon with a 4 Protect 1, you need to be parked behind your Anti-Mage. And I mean far enough back that if he decides to run, you don't end up in the front lines, which is basically what happened there. He was behind Fear, but he was like right next to him. So as soon as Fear walked back and blinked away, Bambo's just standing here, like entirely by himself.
And Crystal Maiden pick is not really working out well for them right now. She is 1-8-6, and she's had some big ults, big frost freezing ults,
fields.
I suppose, but problem is she doesn't do anything versus Anti-Mage at this point in the game. Frostbite Manta, she's dead. and Freezing Field doesn't do too much damage to AoE slow, is mediocre at best. I don't know if it was the best hero for them. I think Shadow Demon was taken very, very early by EG, but this perhaps... I see your hook shot, but
Well,
it's just Jo playing around.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of
that's
ally hook shots.
Yeah, it's one of the most fun. He's had some great escapes. That hook out mid was pretty awesome, but yeah, this is about the power peak for EG. Maybe they want to farm for Boots of Travel buyback on Fear. Maybe they wait for the next
he has it
Roshan.
already. He has 5,200
If he doesn't complete his Abyssal Blade.
Yep.
So I guess he's got one more item to build and Boots of Travel buyback. He could get one. He can't have both yet. But aside from that, this is about as strong as they get. Oh no, we've had an initiation. Bambo's been picked off again. 5 heroes. Now a hook comes through. Jo hooks in, forces away, tries to buy his team some time, but in comes Snake King. He'll blink, he'll stun. Now Universe working on him. Oh, Fear jumping right on the AUI 2000. Linkage has been popped. Monovoid available, not throwing it just yet. Now he throws it, absolutely annihilates that Morphling. Now on the Universe, tracked up. He probably goes down here. He's bashing Fear for the time being. Actually used his Abyssal Blade. Won't matter. And now Fear blinks onwards and upwards onto Fogged.
Look at
Triple
his
kill
images,
for him.
Crushing way too.
He just doesn't even lose HP at this point. One more blink. That'll be the death away too sexy, and that's it. Straight for the throne.
This has to be GG. Ultra
GG.
kill by Fear. What a player.
They just got anti-maged. They just got anti-maged real hard.
Sick play by Fear. Finding the farm, playing very efficiently, just not fighting at a bad time. We saw, I don't know what team it was earlier, but they picked an anti-mage and tried to pick a lot of fights
IG.
before the Manta style. And you just don't do that.
Yeah, we saw that from IG earlier today. Jo, very aggressive carry player. It worked in the one game where they had that great offensive tri-lane. This is, of course, from IG versus Navi earlier today, but
Yeah, Fear is one of the most disciplined players, though. He will not fight unless he absolutely has to, and he thinks it's for the benefit of his team. And, I mean, he was AFK farming for 30 minutes, but it really paid off for Dignitas. Even with Bambo getting caught off a lot, with Demon getting caught off a lot, it didn't matter in the end. Straight up carried his team to victory.
yeah, that's the definition of a carry. 17-1-7.
9,000 gold at the end of the game.
His teammates feeding all around him. He found a way.
They had the Shadow Demon anti-mage. That is very strong core. I thought that they should have actually banned it out in the 3rd or 4th. That was just a big oversight by Dignitas there.
By Dignitas, yeah.
Lifestealer doesn't do anything versus anti-mage.
Well, that's going to wrap up game number 1, guys. It's a best of 3. EG take this one. It's the Corsair Summer Tour, Group C. It's our winner bracket final, so the winner of this match will finish first place in the group. They'll move on to the playoffs. It's a $10,000 tournament. It is, or rather, there is a Dota TV ticket giveaway. If you haven't heard about it, head over to gc.corsair.com. You can enter for a chance to win. There are going to be 3 Dota TV tickets given away each day. It makes Corsair happy. It makes me happy. It means we might have more tournaments. So if you want to enter, do consider it. But for now, it's going to be LD and Merlini taking a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with EG versus Dignitas game number 2. Should be starting very quickly. Stay tuned.